How's it going, guys? It's me, Jimmy Champagne. We're here to do a commentary and Q&A for Happy Halloween, a Michael Myers fan film. This is Cortland.
What's up, everybody?
He's Oddest of the Odds leader, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
He did most of the work on it. We came up with this, like a month before we shot it?
And not even that. We didn't even really put too much effort into just writing or pre-production. It was more so oh, we have this cool idea. Let's just buy plane tickets, and then when we get to that point, we'll shoot it.
Yeah, we had an outline ready to go. Didn't touch it for a month. We get on the plane to Michigan. Everyone's on the plane, and Cortland and I each both rewrote the timeline and then just mashed it together last second.
He's sitting in the front of the plane. I'm sitting in the back, and we're both messing each other hey, we got great ideas. He's like, oh, I got a good idea. And we literally, when we came together off the plane, we had the same exact fucking idea.
And 90,000 views later, here we are. We're really excited.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a commentary first. We collected some questions from you guys. I asked on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube community chat, whatever that is. And we got some good stuff.
So the cool thing about these drone shots, they were just accidentally put in.
Yeah, I have a drone that's just a little consumer one that I bought a couple of years ago, and I bring it every time I go somewhere. And I just got these shots because we were waiting around for the car to be delivered.
Oh, another thing too, a lot of people miss that shot in the beginning of Michael being shot by Lori. Everyone's really confused when he's doing the fire poker scene, and that literally gives away why.
I'm just gonna reveal now. This is the end of the movie with the kid on the bike. This is the end. And then after this, it builds up to that. I know a couple people said we could have put a earlier title or something. But
yeah, but I think that kind of gives away. It's just it kind of kills the excitement of oh, whoa, I'm seeing the ending now that we just saw in the beginning.
And this was the second thing we shot, right?
Yeah, yep. This is the second thing on the first night.
Just a big open cornfield. Wasn't ours, obviously.
Yeah. The thing about this sequence, the corn sequence, is that this took us 3 hours of prep of just setting up lights and stuff, and everyone else was back at the house staying warm while the few of us were out there prepping. And then the entire shoot, I think, from this took 6 hours. Vinny, of course, playing Myers, did awesome job.
Yeah, and then always. The eye, a lot of people think that's a prosthetic, but no, he went frame by frame. Did it all digitally.
Yeah, a lot of people are impressed with this dead body, but if you guys actually see the body up close, it's really, really cheesy. And all that meat you're seeing is just a bunch of venison that's just hammered onto the body.
And that's my dad, by the way. If anyone didn't know, this is my real dad yelling at us. Yeah, he's a baseball coach in real life, and we told him to talk to us like he was talking to the baseball kids he coaches.
I'm gonna lightly touch on it. The generator you guys hear in the background, that was left in by accident, but also on purpose because his dad did really good audio on site, and then when we did the ADR later, it just didn't match
clean.
Up. Yeah, it was just too clean, and he just did such a good performance that we were just screw it, and we just kind of left it in. This is my favorite sequence, the whole cemetery scene.
This is the second to last thing we did.
Yeah.
And this was cold. It was freezing cold that night.
It had been at least 15 or 20 degrees out. It was really cold.
This is Cortland's aunt's house, and it looks like a really cool Midwestern house because it is a really cool Midwestern house. It just fit perfect.
These characters right here that you see laying on the ground, that's actually Ryan and Landon, the kid with the clown mask. We didn't have that many actors, so we just kept reusing people over and over and over.
Yeah, Berlin shows up at the school as a normal character.
So does George.
Yeah.
There was a lot that we wanted to do with this and just ran out of time because we only had 4 days to shoot because everyone was on crazy schedules, and this, like I said, it was such a last minute thing. So for what it is, I think we did a really good job at making it come together with what we already had, or the only stuff that we had shot. Yeah, this was rushed. This was so rushed. It's unbelievable how well it turned out.
We just got lucky, honestly.
Yeah. Well, we had an awesome crew. Everyone who was on set that came together for this, everyone is really good at one thing or another, and we just all really came together to make this happen, and it was just really cool to see.
This is my best friend George, who hosts Fear Frequency with me. If you guys have ever listened to it, you've probably never seen him because it's an audio podcast, but this is him. He was awesome. He drove us around everywhere the entire weekend, Spirit Halloween, all these different locations. He was great. It was so nice having him there.
Yeah.
We're looking to do a Blu-ray release of this. I'm just gonna say it here for those of you who actually care. We're gonna have the original cut. We're thinking a director's cut. That's what we're gonna call it, and it's just gonna have all of the little mistakes fixed, the audio and
the audio.
We'll do a real commentary for it. It'll be a nice little thing, and I think we're just gonna try and break even on it, so it's not like ridiculously expensive. I just want it on my shelf. That's why I want it. The first question comes from YouTube, and it's just straight up sequel, and there's a lot of those, so I'm just gonna show the first one. We want to.
Yeah, why not? I mean, honestly, this did better than what I think we were expecting, because like I said, this was risen just for fun and for us, but also for the fans, and it was so quickly made that like if we took the time and effort to really actually make this an actual fan film and not just like a YouTube video, I'm telling you guys right now, we would, oh my gosh.
It's kind of like a tradition now that Cortland and I do a video on Halloween, because last year I got that mask that I conceptualized what the Halloween Kills mask would look like, and that awesome intro with it on the stick.
Oh, I guess that's true.
And on the fire, Cortland did all that.
Oh yeah.
So now it's like we've done 2 in a row. So I guess we have to do a Halloween movie next year.
I'm down, always.
We'll plan ahead though.
Yeah, we won't rush this one.
All right, the next question is how come it wasn't longer? And I'll let you handle that one.
Oh my gosh. So again, guys, we had 4 days of shoot. We had people flying in from PA, Texas, LA, and of course everyone in Michigan. And like I said, this was so last minute. I'm surprised it even got made. The video was going to be longer. There was a lot more character development and stuff that was originally written to be in there, but it kind of worked out for us to release it on the Halloween Kills release date.
That was the main goal.
Yeah. So like no matter what, we wanted to release something on October 16th.
Yeah, and we were playing to our strengths, because if you watch any other fan films, I don't think I'm gonna piss anyone off by saying the weakest part in all of them is dialogue.
Yeah.
And just like on camera acting. So we wanted to cut out as much dialogue as we could.
Yeah.
And that just resulted in a shorter movie that was all killer, no filler. Get it? 'Cause he's a killer. Yeah, we didn't mention. This thing was made for no money.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Cortland each put in like $1,000?
Yeah, $1,000, and then like of course everyone else who was on set, they're buying little things here and there, and then like of course buying their plane tickets. So everyone, this was not funded really by anyone. This was just like I said, just a bunch of friends coming together, and then me and Jimmy just putting like just a little bit more money down to just make sure we had the proper things for the shoot. But other than that, locations, vehicles, everything was donated to us. So
we just showed up, like school.
Yeah.
There's a question coming up. I'll put it on screen now. But someone asked how we got permission to shoot at the school. We didn't get permission to shoot at the school, but because it's abandoned, it's a big abandoned school, there's no kids there that would make it a COVID risk. So we just showed up, and like the cops drove by like 3 or 4 times. They didn't even stop us.
They don't care in Michigan.
And we had a generator, a light, and the camera pretty much. So we were in and out a lot of places.
And we had a little crowd. We had a little crowd across the street watching us. They were like, "What are you guys doing?" And the way something that I want to add to the shooting without permission, it's always better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah, especially if you're not in California,
yeah.
Because people will generally be nicer
yep.
in other parts of the country. The costumes were the most expensive part of this movie, by the way. The mask, expensive to get that rehauled. It's $60 up front, but then you got to pay to get the mask all done up. The knives, expensive. The costume, like the coveralls for Michael, very expensive because they're fire resistant.
That's probably the most expensive thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, getting them on time. That was the hard thing, because they don't sell them on Amazon anymore. I had to order it from like a real workman's site, which was hard to find. So that was the most expensive, I think. So we got this question twice. What happened to Jimmy when he walks away in the graveyard?
So I guess I would start off by saying originally that entire conversation between Landon, the kid in the clown costume, and Ryan, the kid in the trick-or-treat, the guy in the trick-or-treat costume who gets his face smashed in.
The totally a teenager.
Yeah, the totally teenager. That was supposed to be a lot longer and drawn out, and there was supposed to be more time in between Jimmy walking, and you were gonna end up actually seeing him in the background, like a little bit getting attacked. But then the way it just happened, it was so cold, and everyone was so tired, and we had another shoot, you know, to follow up the next day, that we just had Jimmy walk back there, and we assumed that people would understand that, like, oh, the real Michael came out from over there. So, yeah, Michael killed Jimmy, like 100%. And to kind of fast forward to, I know, a question that we're gonna have later, Jimmy, that car that's on fire near the end, that's actually their car. If you hear them earlier in the video, they actually bring up the fact that they had to park their car at the old farm, which I know that didn't really translate too well.
Yeah, it was just like a quick and dirty fix, but like, that was supposed to be our car. Honestly, we had the car donated before we even knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
And we were like, we want to burn the car.
Yeah.
So we're going to burn the car, and we will work it into the movie any way we can.
And aesthetically, it just looks so badass with Michael
Right.
Staring at a car that's on fire covered in jack-o'-lanterns.
Like, what fan film have you seen where someone actually lights a car on fire?
But you can show an image on this. Jimmy's actually in the car. If you really look closely, you probably can't see it because how quickly he went up ablaze. But Jimmy, we had a Michael Myers sitting in the driver's seat, and that was supposed to explain, like, he put the other Michael Myers in the car.
How'd you guys come up with the idea to set it during 2018? That's an easy one.
Yeah, I mean, that was just, 2018, I don't know. It's just like, there's so many fan films that are showing the aftermath since Halloween Kills, especially like with Inferno and stuff. Everyone's showing past that, or it's like its own thing. 2018 in our eyes was kind of like a saving grace film when it came to the Halloween franchise. So
yeah, after that one take, a lot of people don't get that in 2018. It's not Michael going after Laurie. It's Laurie constantly putting herself in between Michael and other people he wants to kill. So in our universe that we're using, Halloween 1, Halloween 2018, our movie fits in the middle. This Michael Myers would just kill anyone he comes in contact with. Like, that's just how he is. So that's the easiest one to work with. Also, we knew we were putting it on my channel, and we know that a lot of you subscribed because of Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. So we wanted to make sure that right out the gate, the people who really wanted to see this movie would see it. Why do other YouTubers need to do Indiegogo campaigns to do fan films? So this is a question we knew we were going to get because the whole thing with that we've been talking about is that we made this for no money. Obviously, we put money out of pocket towards it, but we pulled a lot of favors.
Yeah,
it's all favors, as you probably realize. Like the car we just talked about, that was free. The ambulance was free. The locations were free. We stayed at his aunt's house, which was free. We gave her food money, obviously, and like thanked her profusely.
Had a bunch of grown men sleeping in a basement together.
Yeah, so if you want to do something really professional with a fan film, of course you could just go ask for money, but like we're both fortunate where we, have jobs and we have our own money, so we don't need to use other people's money to make the movie.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like discredit anyone who uses money to make a fan film from other people, but I always think if you're going to ask for other people's money, you should show the best of your ability with what you have up front, not be like, well, here's some footage, but if I had a better camera that you'll pay for, it'll look so much better. It's like you don't even know how to use that camera, presumably. Like if you shot your first feature on an iPhone and then you get a camera that you have no idea how to use, there's no guarantee it'll look better.
Yeah, this is what we do for a living anyways. We're filmmakers, we're YouTubers, we're actors. So everyone who kind of came together, everyone brought something. I mean, we had a legit BTS on set, and this is just one of our buddies. So it's just like, with that question, I would say that like, this wasn't a fan film. Like I said, this was shot run and gun. This was shot like a YouTube video. It just turns out to look like a fan film because I like to say
he's talented. He's really talented.
We're all good at what we do. So that, I don't know. When it comes to raising money, I think there's certain projects that you should raise money for, and there's certain projects where you should just do it yourself. So if you guys think you need money to do a film, you don't. Honestly, it's like just do it at that point. That's what this project was. It was just a do it project. I mean, other than the money that me and Jimmy put in, like this was all free. So
it really was. And then like, you could use the phone in your pocket. This is definitely a question for Cortland specifically. It's about the special effects. How was the face done when Ryan is getting smashed on the tombstone?
Oh my gosh.
What was the process of doing that? Because that's so far out of my knowledge zone.
Yeah, so a good way that we save money when we do this is that we just do it all ourselves. So when it comes to editing, shooting, directing, writing, and most importantly, special effects, makeup and stuff, I taught myself. Ryan also learned the process, and we did it right there on set in the cold with no breaks. We brought a bunch of gelatin, which gelatin is just pretty much Jell-O. We had a thermostat with us. We just mix it in hot water and you just scoop it up on your face and it just makes it look like your face melted. And the best way to cover up any really bad special effects is just throw blood all over it. And honestly, that's kind of what happened. And everything you guys saw, we tried shooting it as practical as possible because we hate CGI. So one thing I feel like we specialize in is showing really messed up stuff on camera practically.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like what made this video pop a lot was the kills. And I think Ryan's kill is pretty brutal.
That's my favorite one, I think. This next question is, what camera did we use and how did we light the outdoor scenes at night? I think this one's worth talking about because The lighting specifically.
Yeah.
We had 2 lights. We had a nice light that was lent to us, and then Cortland bought one.
Yeah, we had one really big light, which pretty much did probably 90% of the work, and then we just had like a small fill light, which was just another one that was donated to us. And we bought this big light. It's a big Godox, and we bought it for this shoot. And it's like a $400, $500 light, and that was probably the most expensive thing we bought for the shoot. And I mean, with that thing, it was just kind of throw it up. And we're not professional gaffers or lighters or anything, so we just threw it up. Did it look like it was on screen? Does it look like it's nighttime? We'll with it in editing. And honestly, I think the whole time we kind of just threw lights up here and there and just went with it, and it wasn't too wasn't too thought out.
No, not really. We just kind of put it up on a pole and then aimed it where we were shooting.
I mean, me and Ryan, we've been working on a lot of like really big sets lately, so we're learning in the process. And of course, working on Ember Hike in the snow, we learned a lot. So we kind of just took that knowledge and we just kind of, and you can YouTube this kind of stuff. Like you can YouTube how to light a scene. So, but luckily we had a good camera, the S1H. Really, really good camera. It's an expensive camera, but it was also owned by PG, who's also in the film. And yeah, I mean, it just with the one light and the camera and the fill light, like that's pretty much all you need is 2 lights and a camera.
One lens too. We only had a 50mm lens.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to touch up on. We shot this entire thing with a 50. So, and I shoot all my videos, so I'm literally holding this camera, no rigs, no nothing. It's all freehand, and I'm racking focus on this 50 while moving and walking around. And luckily, I think I'm pretty decent at it, so we didn't need to use any Steadicams or gimbals or anything.
Also, we used my A7 III for the one take because if you expose it right, the A7 III is better at night shooting, but we kind of underexposed it a little bit. But we got some help on the coloring, and it came out so much better.
Yeah, it still turned out great.
Yeah, and I will say the S1H is very expensive. It's like a $3,000 camera, but we could have gotten a very similar look out of like a Sony A6500,
GH5 or anything. Honestly,
GH5.
Any of it. It's all about the way you light your scenes, and it's pretty easy once you just start filming. And if you guys are trying to make your own movies, just practice it. Throw up some lights, bounce them, see what looks better, see what doesn't look better, and always throw in post and do some editing on it, because then that's where like I think ours really shines, is like our color correction and stuff.
For the last question, Emerald wants to know why we decided to do it in a sort of anthology type structure. I guess.
I would say it's because we both love Trick or Treat so much, and we think it's such like a perfect film. Horror anthology films are as usually like some of the best horror you'll see. I don't know. It's just.
I was letting him take it. Yeah, Trick or Treat's my favorite movie of all time, right up there, tied with Halloween. I love VHS. Anthology movies are just awesome, and when you get people paying attention and watching and really piecing things together, trying to figure out when they happen, that gets people talking about the movie more, and that's like the coolest feeling ever, that people are talking about your thing and trying to figure it out.
And that makes you rewatch it too, because you're just like, what point in time did this happen, or why was this character introduced when he was? And then, in ours, it's kind of like up front. Normally it's a lot more like hidden, like in Trick or Treat, where it's very like in the background or sounds or in this and that. But and like I said, originally this was gonna be like completely a huge anthology film, but we just ran out of time. But for what it is, I think it turned out great as an anthology film.
I agree.
Kind of. I wouldn't really call it an anthology, but it's kind of like.
It's just like it's not really. Yeah, it's kind of an anthology because all the characters are doing their own different thing, and Michael Myers is the through line. Just like Trick or Treat, where you got a bunch of different characters doing their own thing, and then Sam is just showing up at every single event. But some of them interconnect a lot more in Trick or Treat, obviously. But that's a feature film, and this is a YouTube video. So I think we're off the hook on that one.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
All right, thank you so much for sending in your questions and of course watching the movie. Help us out, go watch it again, show it to one of your friends, maybe throw it up on your TV Halloween night. If you do, post a picture of it on Instagram and Twitter and tag us both. I'm Jimmy Champagne, he's Oddest the Odd One on Twitter, right?
No, I think I'm just Oddest the Odd.
Oh, he's Oddest the Odd on Twitter. Oddest the Odd One on Instagram. I don't know, you'll find him. Also, make sure you subscribe to Cortland's channel, Oddest the Odd. If you liked what you saw in this movie, you can see hundreds of hours of more of that on his channel. Definitely check out his Evil Dead short film, which I think is like the coolest thing you've ever made.
It's pretty dope. A lot of BTS coming for this. Happy Halloween. We'll be dropping soon. We'll give you guys a release date on that as well. And just a heads up, there are multiple collaborations coming between Jimmy Champagne, Odd, and PG, and Berlin, and Womp Stomp Films. So you guys are going to be in for a treat the next couple years. We got a lot coming.
Also, if we didn't answer one of your questions in this video, make sure you leave it down in the comments because I answer pretty much every single comment. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure your notification bell is set to all. As always, guys, my name is Jimmy Champagne, and I'll see you in the next one. Shape on! That was great.